God body is simple. It means you see God when you look in the mirror, and that the body of man is God, and that there's no mystery God in the sky. You are God.
Yo, what's up? We are on the Anabolic Mind Show. Welcome, guys. Today we got a treat. A former client of mine, actor, singer, producer, all of that stuff. But I'm going to let him introduce himself quickly to you, ladies and gentlemen. Mack Wiles.
What's going on, everybody? Yo, thank you for having me, Mark. This is crazy. I'm very glad that you got a platform to teach the world all of the secrets and the tips that you've been teaching me throughout the years.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. But I wanted to tell you about the intro. Chuck D actually let me do that intro on his last album, so that is actually track 14. I got a credit. I got a music credit. I can't believe I had to tell you that. That was so funny. But Mack and I, we know each other for a long time, and I initially met Mack training. I think Salam Remy got me to train you, and but you were already into fitness. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, like, how did you, because you were actually not in bad shape when I first got with you. So how were you into fitness so early on into your career?
I from very young, I've always been an athlete. Like, I've always been into athletics. I've always been into, like, just the different things, not necessarily knowing how to move my body and everything like that, but just knowing that when I was a younger kid, I was very stout. Like, I was very short and stout. So, like, I was playing football, I was a wall. You couldn't move me. I played almost every single sport besides basketball. Basketball was my older brother's sport, so I left that alone. But everything else, man, you start to realize how much you need your body for every single one of these sports. So the more that you fine tune it, the better that you get at moving your body, the better that you get at these sports.
It's interesting. So you're the first guest I've had on that's actually started working out from the very jump. Did you find most of your friends in Staten Island, were they on it like you with the training or sports? Or?
Some were, some weren't. The friends that they played sports. It was the ones that were playing football. It was the ones that were boxing. It was the ones that played baseball. It's funny. One of the gyms that I go to now, I still see a kid that I was in. One of the schools the one school that I went to was K through 12. I got in that first grade and I went all the way to the school that I graduated from. And one of the kids that I grew up with, he goes to my gym now. And it's so funny because we see each other all the time. He's like, he was a baseball star, big, hulky kid. And we always see each other at the gym and give each other a little head nod. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So what's your fitness regimen right now? What are you doing? Because I haven't seen you in a couple of years.
I know it's been years. It's been a minute. Wow. So as of right now, I switch it up every now and then just to try to get just to give my body something new to do. And as of right now, like, I'll do it's usually like a 3-day thing, but I make it really 5 days. So I'll do a push day, I'll do a legs day, and I'll do a pull day. But then in between each one of those days, I'll do a conditioning day, like straight conditioning, hard, like keep it quick, maybe like a half hour of like really, really strong conditioning. Go home, sweat it up. So yeah, maybe like a 5-day situation, a 5-day regimen.
All right. So now, how is it different from when you were training single with no children to being married with child? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What's the biggest difference now?
You know what's funny? You train harder.
Yeah.
I feel like you train harder because naturally your body feels like you have so much more you have to fight for. So you automatically train harder than you've ever trained before. But you don't have enough time to train as much. You got to be home with the little one. You got to figure out the time with the missus. All of those things matter. You start to realize once you get married and having kids, that how much time matters more than anything else. So because I like the balance. I don't train as long as I would want to when I was back in the day, but I train damn hard. I bust my ass in the gym. I have to.
Right. So time management and intensity.
Yes,
You bring
yes.
the intensity up because you have less time, but you make sure you actually have the time to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you think? What do you have? What can you say to artists now? What do you think artists are more health conscious now, or were they more health conscious when we were rocking?
When we were rocking, honestly,
You
I
think
think a
so?
lot of, yeah, just because I think there are a lot of guys that are health conscious now, but I do think, and health conscious meaning when it comes to nutrition,
Right.
and I think that more so comes from just knowledge. I think
Hmm.
the influx of knowledge that we have now, the different people that we were able to kind of see their research and see what it actually does for us. The Dr. Sebis and
Hmm.
everybody else who's been doing work. But when we were rocking, everybody
Right.
wanted to work out. Everybody wanted to get fit. They were doing whatever they had to. You know, GNC was always sold out. Like it was all.
Right. Right.
Everybody always made sure they had the supplements, the whole nine. So it's an interesting balance. It's an interesting balance.
Interesting. Because I'm biased, so I always ask my guests when they come on, how do they feel about the landscape right now? Because as a
Uh-huh.
trainer, I always think people are not working out enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but it's good to ask other people to get a take. What advice would you give to artists now who are up and coming or aspiring artists as far as their health and fitness and wellness and how it integrates into their life? What
I think the biggest thing is realize the first is the realization of how much health and fitness actually help aid in everything that you're trying to do musically, or even if you're an actor, everything that you're trying to do as an actor. They're gonna ask you to do those long hours. They're gonna ask you to put in time that you feel like sometimes you're too tired to do. Sometimes they're gonna ask you to, you're not gonna be able to take the lunch break when you think you're gonna be able to take the lunch break. Or as a singer, sometimes you need your voice to be stronger than usual. Or they'll ask more of you than your body is prepared to give. But if you train, if you are constantly working out, if you're constantly putting the right foods in your body, if you're constantly just focusing on the building of your temple, then
hmm
when they call for that extra, you have the extra left.
Got it. I got a question for you.
Hmm.
Would you gain 50 to 100 pounds for a role?
Yes, I would. I would
Re-
have to figure. I would have to do it with somebody, like with a trainer, of course, or a
Right, right,
nutritionist,
right.
just to make sure that I'm doing it safely. But I would. That's the type of actor that I am. The Christian Bales, the
Hmm.
all like those are the guys that I want to be like. So
So, so,
yes, I would definitely do
so you would drop 50 then too.
it. Drop
You would
50,
go the other way
gain
too.
50. I turn into a super muscle man, look
Right,
super lean.
right,
I would.
right.
I would do it. I would gladly do it.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool because
Yep.
that's a hell of a challenge to get that weight on and get
Yeah.
that back. I think De Niro, he gained quite a bit for one of his roles and dropped a crazy amount at an older age. I thought, wow,
Yes,
that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's one of those guys, man. Robert De Niro, even Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando for Godfather had to put on weight for that. Like all of these guys. These are
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
that those are the guys that I look up to. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Now let's talk about the pandemic because everybody, it's on everybody's mind. And I think the pandemic was a reawakening of people realizing really that their wellness was so much more important than what they thought it was. They got laid off from
Hmm.
work, they had to stay at home, and they realized like, damn, my quality of life is better, minus me not having any money. But I'm at home with the family. I actually have time to do things I wasn't, actually able to do. And I think it,
Hmm.
it, it awakened people to being an entrepreneur, to get into
I agree.
not working a 9 to 5. I think people got inspired to become entrepreneurial. So I wanted to ask you, does wellness influence your entrepreneurial investments? Are you thinking wellness, or is that going to be something that's beneficial health wise for people before you invest in a product or a business? How does that scale in
I'm
your?
I Yeah, wellness, yes, because and mainly because I'm the type of person that I am. I'm always somebody who is always looking for my own health and wellness. So I
Mhm.
only want to invest in things that I would actually use, things that I would actually wear, things that I consider like the things that I would let my daughter wear. So because I want my daughter to grow up healthy and grow up strong and grow up knowledgeable of health and wellness. These are the things that I'm going to invest in to keep her around so that she could see it. But but that, I think that's literally it.
Yeah, there's a term, conscious capitalism. Yeah, that's supposed to actually is the Whole Foods model. So everything's sourced from a healthy place, so people are not getting killed or working in sweatshops to make this stuff. But on the other end of conscious capitalism, there's the investor side, and I think this push, especially with African Americans, to get into the entrepreneurial space. But oftentimes we go for the low hanging fruit. Like, it's easy to hit if you open up a fast food. It's easy money.
Yeah,
but at the same
it's
time,
easy money.
it's so detrimental. It's so detrimental to the
literally
community.
you're hurting your community. The community that I would much rather, like, if I was to do something, I would create like a restaurant, take a bunch of the recipes that my mom gave me, or the recipes of my mom and my dad kind of grew us up on, and just figure out the ways that we could turn them into like very health conscious, like meal preps or something like that, like that we could really just make sure that people can eat when they need to eat, because that's another big part of health that a lot of people don't realize, how much you eat, or the like
it's 90% of it, nutrition.
It's 90% of it, literally.
It really is. And it's interesting that you say that, because it's 1 cup of spinach from 1960, it takes 20 cups to equal now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so because of the soil, the lack of nutrients in the soil, and the over farming, and that goes for most fruits and vegetables. So you really have to make sure it's important where you get your food sourced, and to make sure you get those fruits and vegetables in on a regular basis, because they don't have the nutrients in them anyway. So you definitely can't miss. And guys, look into supplementation, because a lot of families can't afford to eat 3 to 4 servings of organic fruits and vegetables every day. So be smart about your fitness, and be aware. What do you think about the lack of emphasis on fitness in general? Because now the youth, I think it's since 2017, the younger generation's life expectancy are lower than the older generation's life expectancy.
That's crazy.
And that's since 2017, and it's 2022 now. You probably weren't aware of that, but what do you think about?
I wasn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
it's terrible, man. I like I said, I think we have an influx of information when it comes to nutrition, and what to be eating, how to be eating it. Everybody's vegan now, or everybody's doing this now, this type of diet, whatever. But I do think that there is another part of that, which is it's not like everything that you eat that's vegan isn't necessarily all 100% good for you, and just knowing the balance of everything, and knowing that you still have to work out, you still got to get out here and move your body. It's the beautiful old saying, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah, absolutely. How much sleep are you averaging per night these days?
Oh man,
how do you factor that into your lifestyle?
I try to make sure I get as much as possible, honestly. But on average, I would say I'm getting about somewhere between 6 to 8 a night.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
I aim for 6 on a good day, maybe like a weekend or something. I could shoot for a little more, but it's usually I usually get around like 6.
And you're running your day straight through, no naps.
Yeah, running unless and on the rare occurrence that I put Tristan down for a nap, I take a little nap.
Right. You gotta get it. You gotta strategize. That's true. Yeah. What are you working out to music wise? What's in your playlist right now when you go into the gym? What are you rocking with?
Right now, my cousin LaKaylee 47 just dropped a new record called Chitty Bang. That joint is rocking. So if I have that on, or if I'm listening to like some Pop Smoke, some drill, some Brooklyn drill stuff, or honestly, I like to listen to a lot of old school stuff too. There's a certain grittiness that we had in the 90s that is it's indelible. You can't touch it. You can't touch it, and it just gives you a different type of energy in the gym.
Yeah, it's true. I usually go into something, more from my era when I'm hitting it. But I am messing with Griselda a little bit.
Griselda is
I'm going with
crazy.
Griselda in the gym. They're good for the gym. Griselda's good for the gym.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going with that a little bit right now, rocking with Griselda. But what did you grow up eating? What kind of foods?
Growing up, we grew up in the project, so we were pretty much eating whatever we got our hands on. But it's funny because even looking back now, my mom was very particular about making sure that we always had a vegetable, making sure that we always the portions were put together the right way, and that she didn't steer too hard into straight carbs and all of that stuff. Like my mom was meticulous. Like, okay, we got a meat, we got this, we got this.
Mm-hmm.
She was very particular. And my dad low key in his head, he's an iron chef. So he's throwing everything. He's got a little bit of duck. He wants to pair that with the spinach and I need the jasmine. Like my dad is. We were always eating pretty good.
Wow, that's awesome. How about water? Were you always on top of water? Your mom was on it?
No, I was more. I didn't start to really, really get on water until I moved out to LA to do 90210. That's when I started to realize how much water was important, and it was mainly because in the hood, you maybe get you get your little food from the Chinese restaurant or something like that, and you go get a 25-cent,
get the quarter
a 50-cent soda, quarter water,
yeah.
something like that. But going out there, one, they didn't have good Chinese. Two, the water out there, the Arrowhead, like no disrespect to anybody from California, but Arrowhead is disgusting. It has nothing on Poland Spring. Nothing.
Yeah. Everybody likes Poland Spring from the East Coast. It's true.
But I just had to figure out what my thing was, and I started to find different waters, started to find the things that I wanted in the house, and that's when I really got on my water wave.
Okay, that's cool. So how are you doing it now when you're shopping? Are you reading labels? Are you really, really on it like that? Or how intense are you?
Kind of, but then again, not really. Especially because, my wife is my wife, she'll eat vegetables all day. So the majority of the stuff that we have in the house are vegetables. So there's not much to the packaging there. It's literally just like,
so it is what it is, clean. So you're eating pretty, right.
We're definitely eating pretty clean,
How about your protein? What are you doing?
Protein wise, like I said, she eats nothing but vegetables. Me? Oh, I need
right.
Let's get a little bit of steak. Okay, let me look over here. I like to make sure that we're cooking everything and that the stuff is cooked through. And even if we're ordering out, the stuff that we're ordering out, we know is like cooked really well. So like really good Thai food, really good Indian food, even halal, like the really good halal stuff, like the actual lamb and chicken mix. Yeah. I like to make sure that the stuff is being cooked well.
Yeah, that's important. What was your most physically challenging role?
Most physically challenging role.
Was that the airman? No.
Yeah, it was definitely. Actually, yes, absolutely. And it's the 10-year anniversary. Which is crazy.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys haven't seen that flick, that's a great flick, man. You did a great job in that.
Thank you, man. Go watch Red Tails. 10-year anniversary right now. But when we did Red Tails, I was doing 90210. I think we just did like the first season of 90210, and I wasn't heavy, but I was a little heavier. And I remember when we got out to Prague, the producers were looking at me. They were like, we like your size is perfect for nowadays, but no guy back then was your size. So we need you to lean out. I was like, what do you mean? So all of us, we had to do boot camp, but because I was a little heavier, the boot camp on me was a little harder.
It was a little rougher,
so whenever we had to go do our 5-6 mile trek, then we come back and then they'd make me run laps just to keep sweating. It was nuts, but I definitely lost about in the 2 weeks that we were in boot camp. I think I lost about 12 pounds.
Wow, so they weren't playing.
Leaned out really well. Leaned out.
What's your favorite Marvel character to play? If you were to play one, what superhero would you
be? I think about this so often.
Yeah, I know people must ask you that quite a bit, right?
all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everybody knows how much I love comics. So I'm like,
I didn't know that, but I'm a
oh,
big comic book
yeah.
fan myself, big collector.
Yes, man. So there's a few people. I'll tell you three. Me and my older brother, we always talked about this. There's a character that he's newer, but they make him seem like he's an older character. His name is Blue Marvel.
I don't know Blue Marvel.
Blue Marvel. He's a ill character. He's pretty much the closest thing that Marvel has, I guess, to Superman besides Hyperion, but he in the comic he fights Hyperion and beats him and all of this other stuff, but whatever. Blue Marvel was one. Second one I would love to play, and just because he doesn't have a nationality, I would love to play Silver Surfer.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, the Surfer's dope. The
Silver Surfer would be ill.
And he has a great story.
He has an amazing story.
He has an amazing story. People don't really know the origin of the Silver Surfer. Is so crazy.
Yeah, but I said, but especially because they're going.
They're bringing Galactus in the Eternals. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's maybe my time.
Yeah, maybe the Surfer. But you definitely got to be ripped for that. He's naked, right? The Surfer.
No, he's completely naked. So
he's on the surfboard naked.
I'm all the way willing and ready to be ripped up. Yeah.
That's funny. What's your
third person? If I don't know if they would go this way. And but if they do, I would pray that they look for me to do it. Wolverine.
That would be dope.
He's been my favorite character forever. And if they did it the way that they actually do it in the comics, he's not a white man. He's more indigenous than anything else.
True. Yeah, it's true. It is true.
So I would.
Yeah. That would be dope. That'd be dope to do. They got to pick somebody.
All
right. Yeah, that's dope. So, hey, man, it's been great to have you on. In closing, give some people, just talk to people about health and wellness, why it's important, why you do it, why they should do it.
Man, it's your life. That I think that's the best way I can put it, right? You know, your life, we only get this one life. We only get this one body. We come back in whatever forms that we come in, but this body, this life, we only have one. And if you want to sustain it, if you want to be better than you were yesterday, if you want to continue to grow, if you want to just learn more about yourself and who you are, that comes from training, and that comes from eating, and that comes from fasting. Like those three things, you learn and build yourself to levels that are astronomically out of this world, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That was very well said. Guys, incorporate it into your life. There was a lot of jewels Mack broke down, man. So listen to that. And you artists, that was great advice for you guys. Mack, I appreciate it. I'm an outro us right now. Fam, thanks for watching. Make health and wellness a part of your lifestyle. And hang on, I'm going to outro. We're going to talk right after this, man.
Okay.
Peace and love, fam.
This broadcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.